good, everybody? Dylan Spalding here with Auto Racing Digest. Today, it is the first day of the IMSA VP Racing Fuels SportsCar Challenge. Race 1 is happening in a little bit. We have some awesome content coming your way today. We got to check out Justin Benedetto's hauler and his car and his team. Gracious enough to show us some things. We got a lot of stuff planned. It's gonna be a lot of fun. We got all the cars getting ready to go. Let's get after it. Gonna be a good day. We got some cool stuff we're gonna show you. It's race 1, baby. We're back. IMSA's back, baby. Let's go. Alrighty, guys. What we said this weekend will be a lot of fun, and Justin Benedetto and his team at the Benedetto Racing has gladly allowed us to get to kind of cover their team, get to showcase what goes into an IMSA weekend. And there's no shortage of excitement going on with you guys because this is your first IMSA weekend as a team with the Benedetto Racing. So just overall getting here, what has that been like so far?
So the last 2.5 months, myself and my dad, we've been going flat out to get everything prepped. And it's one thing to have the car. Yeah. That's probably the smallest thing we got to worry about, but it's everything else. Get all the tools ready. We go get a trailer. Like a month ago, we're down in Illinois to go pick up the trailer, get that all set up. Then you're dealing with the registration side of IMSA, get everything prepped, go get the electronics to make the car legal, get that all installed, make sure that's all working so when you show up to Daytona, everything goes smooth. Yeah. Last thing you want to do is show up and you're like scrambling. There's a million things to do. Obviously, we've been running our race team for the last 5 years. I think that's right, 5 years. And we've done TCR, we've done GT4 in Canada, and some other front-wheel drive cars earlier on. But obviously, to do it at an IMSA scale, there's a lot more working pieces. So we're not going to a track that's an hour away. We're going to a track that's 24 hours away. So a little bit more distance we got to work with.
You're doing the 24-hour race even in the drive.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's it. So I'm driving the truck. My dad's driving the truck. We're getting here. We're unloading with our crew, getting that all sorted, getting everyone in here with flights, Airbnbs, and everything. So a lot more to take on. Yeah, it's wild when you see a team getting prepared for the weekend and getting prepared for a race like this. For you guys, when did this process officially begin? Like, when was that kind of process beginning? Because it's more than just coming and showing up to a track. As you mentioned, you have to get the trailer, get the car prepped. There's so much that goes into it. So when does a process like this begin for you guys? So when we started looking at doing VP Challenge, we've been eyeing it for some time. And then we did the HSR Classic 24 here at Daytona in, I believe it was November. Yep. We did that, and once we did that, basically gave us a baseline of, okay, I felt comfortable with Daytona, car ran well, crew ran well, and same crew of what we've been running for the last 3 years with Bestline Autotech. And that was basically the kickoff to, okay, we got to start the process. We need the electronics, we need registration, we need to get all sorted with IMSA, make sure the car's registered, compliant, go get a trailer that can go haul all the equipment we need. Hey, all the equipment that we have, what else do we need to go run it by ourselves? So I'd probably say around end of October, early November is when that started, because I remember we got back from Daytona and I'm getting in touch with IMSA saying, I need a list of all the electronics that we need and get this process started. On top of it, go get registration and all that. So it's been flat out since we came back from here.
And what do you, now, and we'll go inside the trailer here in a second, but there's just so much that you have to bring. You have to bring parts in case things happen with the car. You have to really be prepared for stuff. Like, I mean, how much do you really, how much are you bringing to a race weekend such as this? What are you bringing, and how much do you have to think about that going into a race weekend? How important is that?
If running in the US, it's a bit different. On Canada, we're essentially any customer racing team, whether it be you run an AMG, a Porsche, an Audi, you're on your own because it's a smaller network there. So everyone's basically supplying parts, and whoever has stuff at the track and whatever you have is basically what you're working off of. Here, we actually do have the support from Porsche Motorsports North America. So they have a spares truck on site. In the event, car gets to a wreck, you got to go get a fender, a shock, a damper, whatever it may be. They have this stuff supplied. So we have our parts list of stuff that we've carried over from last year. And beyond that, we haven't really got anything else. We're relying on Porsche. Porsche says like we're stocked and ready to go for if anything happens or you need anything. So it's kind of a stress reliever. I'll take that. I think thank you, Porsche, for I can breathe a little bit on that and then go worry about the other 50 other things. But
yeah, that's definitely got to be a relief, especially with you guys being new to the VP Racing Fuels SportsCar Challenge and having that backing. That's definitely got to be a relief for sure.
Yeah, and every other manufacturer here is in the same boat. They have their spares trucks here, engineers on site. We're working with Porsche. If something happens, hey, how's the car running? Is there anything that we can provide? Super helpful on that. So it definitely makes coming into an environment like this a little bit more easier to transition into it.
Now everybody obviously knows what goes on outside of the hauler. As you can see, the car is over here in garage, I believe it's 6 or 4, whatever it is, in the garage, or in the paddock I should say, obviously getting prepared for another test session. So, but there is a lot more that goes in to running a race team, and it's also the guys who are on the inside, like your engineers, like your other people who are here. Obviously your dad is the team principal. He's helping on the business side of things. So there's a lot that goes in. So if you can, show me some of what's going on inside. Maybe we can't disclose everything, as there might be some stuff that you want to keep for the track and stuff, but there's definitely a lot of things that go on, even not even outside, but inside the hauler as well.
Yeah, no, for sure. So I'll give you guys a little quick tour here.
And here's the rest of the team.
Yeah, so we have Matt and Max from Bestline. Fantastic group. They've run in IMSA with GT3 Cup. They've run with Grand Am in the past. They're a super successful team. We've got Craig Willis, who's been my engineer for now year number 3. His dad's actually Keith Willis, who's one of the head engineers for AWA's number 13 Corvette. But yeah, here, come on in. I'll show you the setup. I apologize for the kind of disarray, but this was getting everything prepped and ready to go as of last Friday.
Wow.
So yeah. Sorry, last Sunday. So this is basically it. So over here, obviously we have it's kind of a mess right now, but we got nitrogen tanks. We have our smart strings to do the alignment on the car. Crew equipment, stuff's in here. Anything for leveling pads, scales, hub stands, all this stuff situated here. Probably the most important thing for the race weekend. Unfortunately, our machine died while we were driving down here, so everyone's a little cranky, a little not too happy. So we have to go to Target and go get a new one. Yeah, this is kind of just a general area here. Up here, we got our tools over here. This is our data station. So I think it's locked right now. And right now, my engineer's just doing stuff for getting the damper settings all ready to go for practice 2. So over here, we'll go through video, anything on the coaching side, anything that we need to fine-tune the driver, mostly the driver, and the car. Over here, a whiteboard of stuff. Over here, this is me trying to be funny. My engineer really didn't appreciate that for writing that down. You
gotta have the fun while you're here on the road and you're competing. You gotta have fun while you're out here.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, if you're not having fun, there's a lot of other things you could do.
Absolutely.
To have more fun. And then in here, we have all of our radio stuff, anything for communication or data, anything in terms of fluids, brake fluid, oil, filters, cleaning stuff, rags, usual boring stuff. That's all there. And that's pretty much it. Over here, just a little setup here
and some donuts.
Yeah, that's
donuts and muffins and everything.
Yeah, that'll be the little breakfast buffet.
I love it. Now, you obviously talking about the engineering side of things. It's such an important part of racing. How does that dynamic work in terms of when you're out in the car? Are you able to get that information? How does that work in terms of the engineering driver relationship and how that is played out during a race? Yeah, so typically I'm a lot quieter on the radio. I mean, you'll talk to anyone, they're like, yeah, the guy doesn't really say much of anything in the car. The engineering dynamic is extremely important because I know of like some drivers and their engineer and stuff didn't gel. And, you know, you just end up start going backwards because that essentially is the integral part to the team. I mean, you have the team, you have the driver, you have the engineer, and the engineer's communicating with mechanics
How's the car going to get set up? What's the driver feedback? What are they saying? Engineer wants to go one way, driver wants to go another way. So there's a compromise between the two. And if you can make that work, you got a great combination there. So the relationship I've had with Craig for the last 3 years, we've gotten better and better. To be honest, it kind of gelled right away. But obviously, as the relationship goes on, it gets much better. So, I'll come in and he goes, okay, like what's the car doing? Like, what are you feeling out there? He'll go through the data. He'll go through the video. He'll look at what I'm doing, and then he'll go through data, video. And he's a driver himself, racing Formula 1600s. So he understands that too.
Yeah.
But he'll go there and he'll go through the data, but he also understands the human side of it, and like, okay, I know these are the limitations of the driver, limitations of the car. How do we work around that? How can the driver get better? How can the car get better? And just kind of mold that into a package where you're successful on track.
And is he sitting here for the entirety of the race, or is he actually out on pit road? How does that work in terms of where he's set up at?
Yeah, no. So he is on pit road. Essentially, all the crew's on pit road. If we're making any calls for any greens, cautions, or whichever it may be, it's something from race control, then he's the one who is essentially calling that out. If I have any feedback on the car, usually it's, don't really say stuff on track, or if it's something detrimental, bring it up.
Yeah.
But let's talk about it after. Focus on driving right now, what you can get done in the session, and then we'll talk about it. We'll go through video data later on, and we'll get to the bottom of it.
Now, I think we obviously showcase the hauler, we showcase the inner works. I think we have to see the car, right? I think the fans have to see the car. Justin, let's go check out the car.
Yeah, let's go
check out the Cayman. It's looking sharp here this weekend. I'm excited to see this thing on track. Now, I came here a little late, so I haven't had a chance to see it on track, but I'm looking forward to seeing it on track later tonight under the lights. Do you like night racing? Is that one big thing for you? Do you enjoy night racing?
I do like it. I mean, when I did my first go-kart race in the dark, it was like the coolest thing ever. Everything felt like it was like warp speed. I love it. But if you go to like Daytona, when we did the HSR event, really cool. Like, really cool.
Yeah.
So, I love it. Hey, IMSA, if you're listening, let's do a VP Challenge night race. But yeah, this is the car here. So if you look at it, it's pretty much probably say like 80-90% road car. It's road transmission. Motor is actually out of the GT3 Cup car. Everything else from like suspension, brakes, and everything, that is all upgraded to all the race spec. And then just bodywork, like stuff up here, the front fenders, hood. It's made out of a natural fiber. It's like a hemp resin balsa wood combination here, and a lot of the GT4s are running that kind of bodywork. But the car here, the guys are working on it right now. But you got everything here from your steering wheel, your radio, acknowledge button for any errors or anything that pop up on the steering wheel, mark button for data that basically pinpoints on the telemetry of, let's say there's a corner where something happened to the car or it's repeatedly happening. You can mark it on the wheel, and in the data, when your engineer pulls it up, they'll see the checkpoint of like, hey, this is the point, the time, and everything. Let's see what happened, what went wrong on it. So very, very helpful that that's on the steering wheel. Full course yellow button, which we don't really use here. Display button will toggle between some of the diagnostics pages on the car. See TPMS settings, all that, EBS, traction control. You got your drink button. If you had a drink system hooked up, we don't have it because they're 45-minute sprint races. Then you got your pit speed limiter up top here. And then you got all your dials and stuff for the TC and the brake bias all tucked in between the center console and the steering rod.
For somebody who is new to IMSA, right, who is getting into this sport, learning the ins and outs of learning the controls, learning the mechanisms and such, how long does a process like that take in terms of getting comfortable in the car? And obviously each car is different that you race in, whether you're racing in IMSA, in NASCAR, obviously each car is going to be different. But in terms of IMSA cars and in sports cars, how long does a process like that take? How long did it take for you to kind of get comfortable in the car and get comfortable with the workings of it?
Yeah, no, I mean, this is the first car here that I've driven Actually, no, that's actually a lie. I was going to say the first car with traction control and all that stuff. But no, I've driven other stuff previously, but it was just off of a road car, so you can adjust or anything. The system here, it's like I don't know if you want to call it a two-phase system where the ABS dial doubles for the TC and the traction control. Because you got to remember, this is a road car, so a lot of the road car systems carry over. And there's only so much Porsche can do in the homologation window too. How do we adapt it? How do we make it? But like some other cars, like I know like the Mustang and like the AMG, those cars they're allowed. You can finally adjust the ABS, the traction controls. I got like 12 settings on it, bunch of stuff. But in terms of getting used to it, like from IMSA, you know what? The systems are different, but it's a set of tools of where you can go in and you can adjust things to the settings that you like. So brake bias, for example, is probably the most important thing out there. You go in, if a car is fixed ABS, you're hitting the pedal, and sometimes it's very front bias. You might go, and oh no, I'm plowing through the corner. I want a bit more rear brake to get the car to squat, turn a little bit better. But no, the transition's not anything too complicated. Once you learn and understand the tools, from there it becomes second nature.
Yeah, and it's just so fascinating to see the inner workings of a car. Most people don't know like what the inside of these sports cars look like and the actual components that go into it. And when you look at it, there's just air vents in there. It's like it's a normal car with just the inner workings of a race car as well. It's quite incredible to see just kind of the different components that actually are inside one of these machines.
Yeah. Like even for fact here, Porsche, actually I can't take it out now, but the car goes off of the key. Really? For the road car, So I don't know if any of the other cars are different. I know the GTDs and all that, and P3s obviously full race cars, so they don't have that. But these being production based, there's like
Are you running cool air in there, or are you running hot air in there?
We're running no air.
No air.
Yeah. Especially Daytona with the banking and straights.
I can imagine.
Yeah. I've run the AC system in this car, and it is fantastic. There's times where you're like cold, but we don't run it whatsoever because it saps way too much power out of the car.
That makes sense. And then in terms of the crew, obviously you got a couple crew members working on the car here and getting the car prepped for the final session of the day before you guys get back out on track to race tomorrow. How much crew is actually working on the car and getting the car prepped and ready to go for race day?
I'd probably say every member of the crew here. I mean, we got Matt Max from Best Line, so they're working on the mechanical side of the car. Craig is obviously relaying stuff he sees in the data and video and feedback that I have to them. My brother is doing tires, so he's the runner to Michelin, get everything all set, mounted, purchase the tires, bring that here, get that all onto the car. So everyone here has a role to play for the weekend.
It's a family crew, if you will, here at with Benedetto Racing. Justin, this has been incredible getting to check all this stuff out, and we got more stuff this weekend to come, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be showing him on track here, getting ready for this race. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a great weekend. And where can people find Benedetto Racing? Well, obviously, we'll plug you guys, obviously, but people who want to know more about the team, where can they find you?
No, for sure. We're on Instagram. We're on Facebook, Twitter, or X. And then we're at dbenedettoracing.com.
Dude, guys, go follow Justin and the gang here at Benedetto Racing. They're great people, and we gotta plug with the Instagram. We'll get you the new X logo.
Yeah, that's gotta be updated. But yeah,
it's gonna be a lot of fun, man. Looking forward to it. Got more content coming with the Benedetto Racing this weekend, so stay tuned. There'll be a lot of cool stuff. Thanks, guys. All right, so drivers are getting set here on the grid. Got all the teams, got all their cars. It is the first race of the season for VP Racing Fuels SportsCar Challenge. For fans who don't know what that series is or are new to IMSA, it's now a 3-class series with the introduction of GTD X, which is GT3 cars. So the GT3 cars will have the green number plates, I should say, with the LMP3s rocking the orange number plates as they have always before, even when they were in the WeatherTech. And then you also have the GSX class, which is kind of what you'll see in the Michelin Michelin Pilot Challenge. They have the blue number plates, so we got the LMP3s all lined up here ready to go. We're going to be keeping a close eye on my boy Justin Benedetto. He had a pretty solid qualifying today. He got third on the afternoon. You probably saw all the highlights that we showed prior to this. So definitely excited. Hopefully he'll have a nice run. Again, the team's been very gracious enough to allow me to check out some cool things with the team. So we're gonna hope that he does well and hope that he brings home maybe a checker flag and a nice race win here. So 2 races today, tomorrow. It's supposed to be a rainy day tomorrow, and talking to him, he said he's pretty excited for the rain. So we'll see how things go, but it's gonna be a lot of fun. Should be a good time. Okay, so we are a matter of moments away from these cars about to head on track. Oh my God, I can't wait. You don't know how excited I am to be able to see race cars back on track again. It's like being a kid in a candy store. I mean, like, it's like Christmas Day. It's like unwrapping a new present, and the present's the GTDX class here in this series. So everybody's getting ready to go. They got all their cars set up. Drivers are getting prepped. It's gonna be a fun race. Should be a lot of fun. I'm excited to see how the GTDX class fares for this race here coming up. So should be a lot of fun. Should be good. We'll see how things fare out today. It should be good. 45 minutes of hard contact racing, so it should be good. On the grid here in a little bit. You'll see me on the grid. All right, so Justin, how you feeling today, man? It's big day, race 1 for the IMSA VP Challenge. How you feeling, man?
Yeah, no, I'm super excited here. We got a great crowd out here at Daytona International Speedway. I qualified P3 in GSX class, so we're in a good spot. We're going to be looking to see how the start goes since we're packed up with the GTDX cars. But I think we're in a good spot to make things happen today.
Guys, he was telling me earlier there was a transmission during practice that came out of one of the Turner cars. Hopefully there's no transmissions left on track or any, just spare parts out on track. Hopefully it's gonna be a clean race and a good race for you guys.
That's the plan for us. Obviously keep the car in one piece, have a good race with everyone, be competitive, and go out and have fun. That's the most important thing.
Go kill it, man. We'll see you after the race, brother.
Sounds good. Thanks.